tọ́jú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́nkùnlé ọ̀yọ́ eégún tó bá ṣoore fún wa báyìí là wà ń kó bí ìbọn.
ẹ kú àgbà bàbá.
kò ní í dalẹ̀ ìmọ̀ tú ìmọ̀ jọ ìmọ̀ ẹni ní kò ní í dalẹ̀.
iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìròyìn àṣà ohun ìrìn àjò afẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́.
Beautiful morning to you, our darling viewer. With love, I welcome you to this morning edition of the Newspaper Review. We transmit from the GSM studio at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism. I am Temi Tokbe Ojoawo. With that, I will not forget to remind you that you can link us up on our social media handles. We are on Facebook at www.facebook.com. We are also on YouTube at Aloore Radio. Our website still remains www.aloreradio.com, where we are much available on our mobile apps at Aloore Radio on our Play Store. Our mobile line is 09039853731. This morning, I will be reviewing just a single newspaper, Nigeria Tribune. And I will start from the headline. A very attractive story at the front page of Nigerian this morning is strike continues. Also adamant with a rider union insists on UTAS signing of renegotiated agreement. Reserve also issue within 2 weeks. Buhari tells Education Minister. Can get that one on page 5 of Nigerian Tribune. Another headline at the front page of Nigerian Tribune this morning. Domestic airline operators will raise their alarm as price of aviation fare rises to 780 naira. On page 6 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. Politicians who pick 2 nomination forms will risk 2 years jail time. Wreck. Why I choose Satima as my running mate. Tinubu. Adeboye didn't endorse any presidential candidate. RCCJ. Also at the front page of Nigerian Tribune this morning. Dana here makes emergency landing aircraft grounded on page 15 of today's edition of Nigerian Tribune. Also suspected herdsmen invade Aloore firm in Ogbomoso. Kidnap supervisor demand ransom. We also have at the front page of Nigerian this morning. APC will challenge Adeleke's victory in court, says Oyetola campaign DG. Also at the front page of today's edition of Nigerian Tribune, Buhari unveils a new NNPCL, order transfer of assets with many riders. As company targeted 1,500 retail outlets in 6 months, confusion trace petrol price hike. We did not direct oil marketer to hike petrol prices, NNPC. And also another rider says oil marketers fought viral messages. With all this line, we shall observe a very short break. Please stay tuned.
We bring you everything from breaking news.
The president must know that this is a part-time foundation. We must look for public support.
World news, sport, music, and many more. To listen to our programs, follow us live on all our social media platforms on Facebook at Aloore Radio, Twitter and Instagram at Aloore Radio. You can also subscribe on our YouTube page on Aloore Radio. Make sure you click on the notification bell so you know when we are live. This is Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State.
You're welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. My first story this morning is on the page 2 of Nigerian Tribune. Also, Adamant says strikes continue. The Academic Staff Union of University also on Tuesday dashed the hope of parents and students for early reopening of public university but insisted that the ongoing strike will not be called off until the federal government signs the renegotiated agreement and must stop the implementation of university transparency and accountability solution as payment platform. The union also accused the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, as being responsible for the prolonged strike. ASU President Professor Emmanuel Sodeke, who brave newsman in Abuja, said the union needed to make clarifications on some of the allegations made by the minister. He insisted that the strike would not be suspended until federal government signs the renegotiation agreement, accept UTAS as the payment platform in the place of the Integrated Personnel Payment Role and Information System. IPPIS released the Revitalization Fund, among other issues on demand. You can read more on page 2 of Nigerian Tribune. Another story this morning, Ogun government provide new set of furniture at Kizitu School. Ogun State government has provided new set of furniture to St. Kitizo High School Wokpen in Ogun, Waterside local government area of the state. A photo and video of students of the school surfaced on some social media platform where they were seen writing third-term promotion exam on bare floor. Following criticism that followed the picture, the government acted swiftly by providing the students with desks and benches, a gesture that was lauded by parents and students. Please, you can read more of that story on the same page 2 of Nigerian Tribune. Still on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune today's edition, Abia APC Gopa ticket, Apicot throws away Oga says against Emenike. The Court of Appeal over the division in Imo State on Tuesday, in a unanimous ruling, struck out a motion for lifting up pay as an uninterested party filed by Dr. Uche Oga to challenge the judgment of the High Court of Abia State over the All Progressive Congress governorship ticket. The matter is in respect of a suit number HEM 31-2022, Chief Ikechi Emenike versus APC and two holders, delivered on June 24, 2022, in favor of Chief Emenike. Emenike approached the Abia court in the suit for the determination of whether himself, having emerged as the candidate of APC in the primary election conducted by the party on June 2022, the party could refuse to submit his name to INEC as the candidate of the party. Please read more of the story on page 2. Now on page 5 of the same newspaper. 2023, neither religion nor vote informed choice of Shetima as my running mate, Tinubu. Ahead of today's formal unveiling of two-time Borno State Governor and Senator representing Borno Central, Kazim Shetima as his running mate, All Progressive Congress presidential candidate Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu has again defended his choice of running mate. Tinubu, in a statement issued to newsmen in Abuja on Tuesday and signed by Bayo Ononuga, Director of Media and Communication, Tinubu campaign organization, the APC presidential candidate, said a single fair ticket had nothing to do with region or highest number of votes or Senator Shetima's religious affiliation. Get more of the gist on page 5 of Nigerian Tribune. Or stay on the same page. Wike APC as our leaders angry with Tinubu, so will others Nabena. Reason moved by certain chieftain of the All Progressive Congress to hold the River State Governor Iyezom Wike has scattered the anger of their colleagues in the South Zone. Former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of APC, Yeki Nabena, made the revelation on Tuesday in a statement. Three Southwest governor and last week visited Port, the River State capital, to meet with Wike in a move perceived to woo the River State governor, who lost out to Delta State counterpart Governor Iveyi Okowa in the choice of presidential candidate by the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. Read more on page 5 of Nigerian Tribune. And still on the same page, Adeboye did not endorse any presidential candidate. RCCG, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, has said that its General Overseer, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, did not endorse any presidential candidate ahead of the 2023 general election. It emphasized that the General Overseer of the church did not give his backing to the candidature of Senator Bola Tinubu, the presidential candidate of All Progressive Congress APC, following report of his visit to the redemption camp. The church, through its verified Twitter handle, said Adeboye is a member of the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) and the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria (PFN), and as such will not speak on behalf of Christians on issues regarding policy. The statement reads, and I quote, "It has come to our notice that some news outlets are reporting that a meeting between Pastor E.A. Adeboye, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God Worldwide, and the former governor of Lagos State, Senator Bola Tinubu, was held few days back at the redemption camp, where our esteemed father in the Lord was said to have supported the preferred candidature of the party, and the former governor is a member of. End of quote. Adeboye did not endorse any presidential candidate. RCCG. Quickly on page 5 of Nigerian Tribune. Yaya Bello support group Meet Shettima declare support for single fare ticket. A support of group of Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello on Tuesday met the vice presidential candidate of APC, Senator Kashim Shettima, with assurance of full support. The Governor Yaya Bello Network for Asiwaju was led on the cozy visit by its Kogi State Governorship, Alhaji Hande Moheto. Please read further on page 5 of Nigerian Tribune. And on page 6, NNPC Limited will guarantee energy security. Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari has unveiled the new Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, signaling the takeoff of the organization as a profitable commercial entity that will declare dividends to its stakeholders. The president performed the ceremony inside the State House Conference Center in Abuja on Tuesday, affirming that the company is mandated by law to ensure that the Nigerian national energy security is guaranteed. The president said the African largest national oil company, NOC, will also support sustainable growth across other sectors of the economy as it delivers energy to the world. Please read further on page 6 of Nigerian Tribune. And quickly on page 8 of Nigerian Tribune this morning, 2023 will be our best ever, Yakubu vows as INEC for closest voting by President Imez. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has assured that the next general election will be an improvement on previous election handled by the Commission. Yakubu gave the pledge on Tuesday when he received at the INEC headquarters delegation of the International Republican Institute, IRI, and of the National Democratic Institute, NDI, in Abuja. Appraising the performance of the electoral umpire in weekend Osun State governorship election, he said it was an improvement on the election and maintained that the 2023 general elections will earn the commission applause from Nigerian Tribune. Still on page 8 of Nigerian Tribune, Labour Party received defectors in Oyo ahead of the 2023 general election. Over 200 members of the APC and PDP in Ibadan North and in Ibadan North local government of your state have defected to the Labour Party. Read more on that story on page 8 of Nigerian Tribune. We shall quickly observe a short break. Please stay tuned.
Ìyá ọmọlúàbí ni kó ṣèlérí kó sì mú lérí rẹ̀ ṣẹ lásìkò polongo òdìbò ni gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ti sọ pé ìṣèjọba òun kò ní ṣàdédé lé ẹnikẹ́ni níbi tí wọ́n ti ń jẹ tí wọ́n ti ń mu láì ṣe pé òun pèsè ibòmíì fún wọn láti má déhùn yìí ṣẹ. Ìgbìmọ̀ amúṣẹ́yá ti ń rí sí ìtọ́jú àwọn oníbàárà nílùú Ìbàdàn tí kó gbogbo àwọn oníbàárà tó wà ní Sábó lọ sí agbègbè kan ní Akínyẹlé, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n sì ṣe káàkiri gbogbo ìlú Ìbàdàn. Ètò ààbò ẹ̀mí òun ìgbé ayé ìrọ̀rùn níjọba ti pèsè fún àwọn oníbàárà yìí níbẹ̀. Èyí ni ó wá gbòdẹ́kun fáwọn amòòkùnṣìkà tí wọ́n ń ṣe bí oníbàárà láti ṣiṣẹ́ ẹbí wọn. Ìjọba wa ń rọ gbogbo ẹ̀yin onínú dúndùn ọlọ́rẹ tí mọ́ ń tọ́jú àwọn oníbàárà yìí pé kẹ́ ẹ máa lọ bá wọn lákínyẹlé láti ṣèṣe ọ̀rẹ́ yín. Ààbò tó péye ti wà fún ẹ̀yin àtàwọn tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ ta lọ́rẹ níbẹ̀. Ìgbìmọ̀ amúṣẹ́yá tó ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn oníbàárà nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.
You're welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. Page 13 of Nigerian Tribune. Aregbesola queries immigration officer for boycotting the process. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, has urged Nigerians to follow due process in their passport application and shun patronizing touts who will end up disrupting the standardized procedure. He stated days when he paid a surprise visit to the Alausa Passport Office of the Nigerian Immigration Service in Lagos, where he allegedly queried an immigration officer for subverting the process. I have said it for the umpteenth time that a Nigerian must stop patronizing touts, either in uniform or in civilian clothing. The only way for you to apply for your passport is online. The attempt to get passports on the go and boycott the standardized collection timeline of 3 weeks for reissue and 6 weeks for fresh application capturing, which is the main reason why patronizing touts will only head up in disappointment, is stated, and I quote. Please read further on page 13 of Nigerian Tribune. And on page 14, 143 stranded Nigerian returns from Libya. The National Emergency Management Agency NEMA on Thursday received another batch of 143 stranded Nigerians from Libya at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The Director General of NEMA, Alhaji Mustafa Ahmed, who was represented by the Acting Coordinator of Lagos Territorial Office of the agency, Mr. Ibrahim Fariloye, confirmed this to the news agency of Nigeria in Lagos. Fariloye said the stranded Nigeria arrived at the cargo wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport at about 3:18 p.m. with board 737-800 at Burake with registration number 5A VMG. Also on page 14 of Nigerian Tribune, bandit leader Soban in Savera still on a watch list, said police. Katsina State Police Commander said the bandit leader Aloore, who was Soban in Savera's Fulani chief, is still on its watch list. Spokesperson for the police command SG Gambo Issa disclosed this to newsmen in Katsina while reacting to the chieftaincy title recently conferred on Aloore in Savera. Read further on page 14 of Nigerian Tribune. Still on bandits, on the same page, bandits, not youth, killed in Imo community, says Governor. Governor Hope Udozuma of Imo State has exonerated of the Ebubianago security outfit in the allegation that 14 youths were killed at Awomana in the East local government of the state, just as they described the linking of the outfit to the killing as blackmail. Uzodinma, in a statement issued in Owerri by his chief press secretary and media advisor, Ogwike Onwechiku, said the government has been briefed on the incident by the director of the Department of State Services, DSS, in an interim report made available to members of the state security services. Please read further on page 14 of Nigerian Tribune. And on page 15 of the same newspaper edition for today, suspected others invade late Governor Akala's Femi in Ogbomosho, kidnapped supervisor. Suspected others on Saturday invaded the farm of the late former governor of Oyo State, Chief Adebayo Alao Akala, at Jabata community in Surulere local government area of the state and abducted the farm supervisor Christopher Bakari. Confirming the incident to the Nigerian Tribune, a family source who prevailed anonymity said the invader was suspected to be his men. He disclosed that this was not the first time such incidents had happened in the area. The source added that people living in the area had frequently been attacked by suspected headsmen. He, however, said the kidnapper had established contact with the family. According to him, the abductor had demanded 100 million ransom before they would release the farm supervisor. You can read further on page 15 of Nigerian Tribune. Still on the same page and on security issue, again, government abduct traditional ruler in Abuja. Government on Monday evening abducted the district head of Kuchabuyi, a remote community on the outskirts of Kubwa, in Bere area local government of Federal Capital Territory FCT, Malam Isiaka Dauda. The last incident is coming 3 months after the traditional ruler of Bukwe community in Kali area council of FCT, Alhaji Azan Shamidoshi, was abducted from his place. Please read further on the same page of Nigerian Tribune. And lastly on that page, fully loaded tanker explode in Lagos. Many trucks and tankers were on Tuesday afternoon burnt as a tanker fully loaded with diesel went up in flames at the articulated truck park at Oto Wharf in the Maito area of Lagos State. Though the cause of the fire incident was yet to be ascertained, as at time of filing this report, the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency LASEME confirmed it. The fire incident was said to have started from one of the tankers at the park, which was fully loaded with diesel. Please get the rest of the gist on page 15 of Nigerian Tribune. And quickly move to page 26 for today's edition of Nigerian Tribune. We will challenge Adeleke victory in court. Oyetola campaign, DG. The declaration of Senator Ademola Adeleke as the new governor-elect of Osun State on the platform of the People Democratic Party (PDP) by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) may be challenging the law of court, as source disclosed that the All Progressive Congress APC legal team has started working on the legal process. It was learned that the APC has hired senior advocates in the legal profession and legal icon in the state to challenge the PDP victory in court if anomalies are detected in the result announced by INEC on the outcome of the just concluded governorship election. Please read further on page 26 of Nigerian Tribune. Still on the same page, NGF pledges support for Adeleke. The 36th state governor under the aegis of the Nigeria Governors Forum (NGF) on Tuesday pledged support for the Osun State Governor-elect Senator Isiaka Ademola Adeleke. The NGF chairman, Governor Kayode Fayemi, stated this in a congratulatory letter dated 18th 2022 and addressed to Ademola Adeleke. The letter read, and I quote, "Dear Governor-elect, congratulations. The Nigeria Governor Forum (NGF) wishes to congratulate the Osun State Governor-elect, His Excellency Senator Ademola Adeleke, on your victory at the just concluded election." End of quote. NGF pledges support for Adeleke. Read further on page 26. And quickly before I go this morning, the last story from their page and from today's edition of Newspaper Review. Ni congratulates Adeleke, comments Oyetola. INEC. The Oni of Ife Obade Ogunwusi on Tuesday congratulated Senator Ademola Adeleke on his victory at the July 16 governorship election in Osun State, as he charged him to make his government all-inclusive. In a statement made available to the newsmen in Osogbo by his Director of Media and Public Affairs, Moses Olafare, the monarch advised the governor-elect to bring everyone on board as people's leaders. The traditional ruler also warned him against giving audience to circumvent, adding that the election result is a confirmation of Adeleke grassroots popularity in the state, which he must reward with a good governance driven by rules of law, fear of God and selfless service to the people. He said, and I quote, "Senator Ademola Adeleke has been around for some time, and his eventual victory is an opportunity for him to execute his election promises as much as he said." End of quote. You can read further on page 26 of today's edition of Nigerian Tribune. And with that story, I will draw the curtain for today's edition of Newspaper Review from your darling station, Aloore Radio. We transmit from the GSM studio at the Ministry of the Information, Culture and Tourism. And don't forget that you can reach us on our Facebook at www.facebook.com/Aloore Radio. Also on YouTube at Aloore Radio and our website www.alooreradio.com. Our mobile app is available on Play Store, while our active line still remain 09039853731. I really appreciate you for staying tuned. Thank you for joining us. Till tomorrow, when you have another Kiron edition to give to you the details of the daily. I'm Temitope Ojawo. I say enjoy your day and bye for now.